So, despite growing up on the left coast, I've always felt the need to be right. Anyone else? Is that just me? I remember this one time my parents were reminding me about some silly little kid stuff like, Twila, brush your teeth before bed. I just looked at them and I said, Mom, Dad, I'm 4 years old. I think I know that. Anyways, not a lot has changed since I became an adult. I'm still one of those people that's kind of like, put me in charge and I'll fix everything, I promise, it'll be great. So, you know where those people who think they have all the answers go? They go to the U.S. Institute of Peace. Yes, peace. There's an institute for that. So, it's summer of 2016, and I'm doing communications for a nonprofit at the Institute of Peace, and I'm working every day to compose that Facebook post or that perfect tweet that's going to make everyone realize that our differences are beautiful, and if we would all just accept them, we would end the war in Syria and defeat ISIS. That's when I meet the Marine. We met in the most DC way possible, brunch at a friend's apartment. I woke up late and in a panic that morning, so I rush into an Uber and I drive over. I'm climbing out of the car and I see him at a distance. Shaved head, square shoulders. This guy must be military. So we're approaching the front door of the apartment building and I notice in one hand he's carrying a bottle of champagne. Being a regular Sherlock, I think, champagne, mimosas. We must be going to the same party. That's when I notice that in his other hand, he's carrying a bright, bubblegum pink bottle of Pedialyte. I look from his flushed face to the bottle of Pedialyte, and I'm thinking, ooh, someone did some hard partying last night, and it looks like the recovery is not going well. We walk inside the apartment building, or rather he sort of wobbles inside, and we get into an elevator together. He immediately closes his eyes and just leans his whole frame against the wall. I look at him and I think, man, that guy's a mess. Like, he should be at home, not going to some brunch party. He seems to feel me sort of staring and, well, frankly, judging him, because he sort of straightens up and puffs out his chest and goes, excuse me. I drove up from Quantico last night and hung out with the frat brothers. Got pretty crazy. Hey, by the way, my name's Casey. Oh, brother, I'm thinking. I'm stuck in an elevator with some hungover frat boy Marine who, let's face it, probably joined the military because he was like really good at those like war video games in high school. And now he thinks that just because he's standing there with these big muscles and this deep voice that like somehow I'm gonna be impressed by that. Well, sorry, buddy, but you are barking up the wrong tree hugger because this peace-loving granola girl is not interested. The elevator doors ding, we go out, we go into my friend's apartment, and he immediately sets down the bottles on a table and makes a beeline for the kitchen. My eyes follow him as he bends over the kitchen sink, and I'm thinking, oh my God, he's gonna blow. Someone do something before he pukes all over the sink and makes this entire mess. And oh, wait, he's not actually puking. He's washing the dishes. That's kind of nice if you think about it. But I didn't think about it because right at that moment my friend said, Twila, it's been so long since I saw you. How are you? Oh my gosh, you missed such a good time last night. You surely should have come out with us. What were you doing, by the way? Well, I say, trying not to sound too lame, I got off work, I came home, put on my sweatpants, and, well, I'm reading a really good book. So I read and I ate ice cream sandwiches, and that's what I did with my Friday night. At this moment, I see the hungover Marine stop washing dishes and turn and look at me over his shoulder and go back to washing dishes. Oh, great, I think. This guy, who probably can't even remember the last book he read, is judging me for being a lame person that stays inside and eats ice cream sandwiches on a Friday night. Well, I don't care what he thinks. I don't care what he thinks. A little while later, I'm talking to a friend of mine, and we're discussing music. Mr. Drunken Marine sidles over with a drink in his hand and, acting cool, says, oh, you guys are talking about music? What kind of music do you like? Well, I say, I'm kind of sizing him up and figuring the only music he listens to is whatever helps him get swole at the gym. I like jazz. I'm really into swing dancing, and so big band or anything I can dance to, that's my favorite kind of music. His eyes get big, and remembering the look he gave me after the earlier conversation, I'm just bracing myself for the grandma joke that's about to come my way. Jazz, he says. I love swing dancing. I got so into swing dancing when I was on my college ballroom dance team. Wait a second, did I hear that right? I turned to him and say, you were on your college ballroom dance team, like with the fake tans and the sparkles and the dancing with the stars and stuff? Yeah, he says, it started when I was about 10 years old. I got really into Irish dance, and dance has just sort of been my life ever since. Hold the phone. I'm like having visions of Michael Flatley dancing in combat boots right now. And like, I just can't wrap my mind around how you go from jigging to G.I. Joe. And I mean, if I was so wrong about Lieutenant Twinkle Toes, what else could I have been wrong about? Turns out, everything. Over the course of the next year, I found out that we were both obsessed with Disney and could sing the songs to every ABBA song that came on the radio. I learned that we were both raised by immigrant parents who instilled in us a love of both the American dreams and a curiosity for other cultures and other places. In fact, the only thing we ever really argued about was whether to call the interstate I-395 or the 395. It's I-395 for the record. So after all that, I'm sure you're wondering, what happened to the Marine and the Peace Builder. Well, he's no longer my boyfriend. He's my fiance. And in 25 days from today, we'll be married. Which means in 26 days, I'll be able to stand here and tell you, yeah, it really is better to make love, not war.
Judge a book by looking at the cover.